It's Friday, payday. You check your account. $3,200 just hit. You feel good. You feel in control. Fast forward 11 days. You check again. $340 left. 3 weeks until the next check. You sit there staring at the screen trying to figure out where it all went. You didn't buy anything crazy. No luxury vacation. No designer clothes. Just life. But here's what nobody tells you. That vanishing money is not a math problem. It's not even a spending problem. It is a pattern running in your brain that was programmed before you were old enough to understand what a dollar even was. You already know the basics. Spend less than you earn. Save for emergencies. Don't buy things you can't afford. That part is not complicated. But if knowledge was enough, every doctor would be healthy. Every personal trainer would be in perfect shape. Every financial advisor would be rich. Knowledge does not change behavior, not by itself. According to the American Psychological Association, 72% of Americans report feeling stressed about money at least once a month. And here's what that stress does. It doesn't make you more careful. It makes you more impulsive. When your brain feels financial pressure, it looks for relief, fast relief. That's why you scroll through your phone at midnight, adding things to a cart you don't need. That's why you eat out 4 times a week, even though you have groceries at home. That's why you buy something nice for yourself the same week rent is due. You're not being irresponsible. You're self-medicating. Your brain is using spending the same way someone else might use a drink after a hard day. The hit of dopamine from buying something new temporarily quiets the anxiety about money. And then the cycle starts again. Less money, more stress, more spending. Here is where it gets real. A study from Cambridge University found that your basic money habits are formed by age 7 years old, before you ever had a job, before you ever paid a bill, before you ever earned a single dollar. Your brain already had a relationship with money. Think about what that means. If you grew up in a home where money was always tight, where the lights got cut off, where your parents argued about bills every month, your brain learned something. It learned that money equals danger. Money equals conflict. Money equals stress. So now when you actually have money in your account, your subconscious doesn't feel safe. It feels anxious. And anxious brains want to get rid of the thing causing the anxiety. That is why some people spend money the moment they get it. Not because they're careless, because holding money literally makes them uncomfortable. A study published in the Journal of Consumer Psychology calls this financial avoidance. Your brain avoids dealing with money because engaging with it triggers old pain. You don't check your bank account. You don't open your bills. You overspend because spending feels like action. And action feels better than sitting with the fear. On the other hand, maybe you grew up watching a parent hoard every penny. Maybe money was controlled, used as a weapon. In that case, your brain might rebel. You spend freely now because you associate saving with control, restriction, and unhappiness. Either way, the pattern was set before you had a choice, and you've been running on autopilot ever since. Now let's put actual numbers on this, because this is not abstract. This is real money leaving your account every single month. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that the average American household spends about $5,100 a year on food away from home. That's roughly $425 a month on restaurants, takeout, delivery, not groceries, just the convenient stuff. On top of that, the average person spends about $2,400 a year on subscription services they barely use. Streaming, apps, memberships, that gym you signed up for in January. Then there's impulse purchases. A study from Slick Deals found that the average American spends about $5,400 a year on impulse buys. Things you didn't plan to buy, things you didn't need, things that felt good for about 15 minutes. Let's add in another category nobody talks about: comfort spending. That $7 coffee when you're stressed, that $15 lunch because you're too tired to cook, that $50 online order at 11 p.m. because you had a bad day. Research from financial therapy studies estimates that emotional or comfort-driven spending adds another $5,100 or more per year for the average adult. Now add it up. $5,100 on eating out, $2,400 on subscriptions, $5,400 on impulse buys, $5,100 on comfort spending. That is $18,000 a year. Not on your mortgage, not on your car, not on your kids, on emotional autopilot, $18,000. That is $1,500 every single month that leaves your account, not because you planned it, but because something inside you needed relief. Over 10 years, that is $180,000, enough for a down payment on a house, enough to fund a retirement account that could grow to over $400,000 with compound growth, and none of it was a conscious choice. That is the cost of running on a program that was written when you were in first grade. Now here's the part that should make you angry. This pattern you are stuck in. Entire industries are designed to exploit it. The food delivery industry made over $218 billion globally in 2023. Their business model is built on one thing: you being too tired, too stressed, or too overwhelmed to cook. Every notification they send is timed. Every discount code lands right around dinner time. They are not offering convenience. They are monetizing your exhaustion. Credit card companies are even worse. The average credit card interest rate in 2024 is 24.7%. They do not want you to pay off your balance. They want you to carry it. A $3,000 balance at 24.7% interest, if you make minimum payments, takes over 14 years to pay off. You pay back more than $6,000 total, double what you borrowed. And that $3,000 balance? It was probably built $50 at a time. Stress purchases, late night orders, comfort buys. Subscription services use the same psychology. They make it easy to sign up. They make it hard to cancel. The average American has 12 active subscriptions and does not use 4 of them. That is roughly $800 a year on services running in the background, quietly draining your account while you were busy just trying to get through the week. None of these companies care about your mental health. They profit from your stress. The more overwhelmed you feel, the more money they make. Now, the biggest objection you probably have right now is this: you're not spending emotionally. You just don't make enough money. And honestly, that might be partly true. Wages have not kept up with costs. That is a real systemic issue. But here's the counterpoint. People earning $100,000 a year report the same spending patterns. A survey from Lending Club found that 49% of people making over $100,000 still live paycheck to paycheck. That means income alone does not fix this. The pattern follows you no matter how much you earn, unless you interrupt it. So here's a system that actually works. Step 1, the 24-hour rule. Before any non-essential purchase over $50, you wait 24 hours. You do not delete it from the cart. You just wait. Research shows that 70% of impulse purchases are abandoned when people simply sleep on them. That one rule alone could save you over $3,700 a year based on the impulse spending average. Step 2, name the feeling before you buy. Before you tap that button, ask yourself one question. Am I buying this because I need it or because I'm feeling something? Bored, stressed, lonely, anxious. If the answer is a feeling, close the app, go for a walk, call someone. The purchase is not the problem. The unprocessed emotion is. Step 3, automate your safety net. The day you get paid, automatically move $200 to a separate savings account before you can touch it, before your brain can negotiate. $200 a month is $2,400 a year. In 5 years, that is $12,000, not from a raise, not from a side hustle, just from removing the decision from your emotional brain. These 3 steps are not about restriction. They are about giving your logical mind a fighting chance against a pattern that has been running since you were a child. 2 people, Both earn $55,000 a year. Both live in the same city, same rent, same basic bills. Person A never examines their spending patterns. They eat out when stressed. They impulse buy when bored. They carry a $3,000 credit card balance at 24.7% interest and make minimum payments. They have no automatic savings. Every paycheck feels like a race to zero. After 5 years, person A has about $1,200 in savings. They have paid over $4,000 in credit card interest alone. They still feel broke. They still feel anxious about money. Nothing has changed except they are 5 years older. Person B watches this video. They start the 24-hour rule. They name their feelings before buying. They automate $200 a month to a separate account. They cancel 4 unused subscriptions worth $67 a month. Person B still eats out sometimes, still buys things they enjoy, but the impulsive spending drops by roughly 40%. After 5 years, person B has $12,000 in their savings account. They have paid off their credit card entirely. They have saved an additional $4,000 from canceled subscriptions. They have avoided roughly $18,500 in impulse and comfort spending compared to their old pattern. Person B has about $34,500 more in net worth than person A. Same job, same salary, same city. The only difference, person B understood that the money problem was never about the money. It was about what money made them feel. And they learned to interrupt the pattern. You're not bad with money. You were never taught how money works in your brain. Every overdraft, every empty account, every time you asked yourself, what is wrong with me? Nothing was wrong with you. You were running a program that was installed before you could even read. But right now, in this moment, you have something most people never get. Awareness. You see the pattern now. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. This is not your fault. Nobody taught you this, but now you know. And knowing changes everything.